Hi guys, I did my lesson plan on the game Code Fred. So here's Code Fred. It's called Code Fred Survival Mode. I think it's a play off the word Code Red. So for the lesson plan, our lesson title is Human Body Systems and Survival. Subject area is going to be science. Grade level is 7th grade. It requires 10 45-minute classes, and it kind of depends on what level 7th graders you're working with. So if you've done other activities like this before, it might not take as many days as I had allowed. Lesson summary. The purpose of this lesson is to teach students about the human body systems that are necessary to survive. They will learn about the actions and reactions of these systems and their consequences of not functioning properly. Problem statement. You are going to play as Fred, who is having an awful night. He is lost in the wilderness and is being chased by wolves. The only thing that can keep Fred alive is his amazing body, which is made up of a complex series of systems. You will navigate through a series of mini-games to keep Fred one step ahead of the hostile environment. I think this game is very engaging for students because of this problem statement and trying to figure out how does your body keep you alive out in the wilderness. Local standard, I went with the Minnesota ones. I found the one it aligned to was 74112, which is about organ interactions. And the standard states that the students need to describe how the organs in the respiratory, circulatory, digestive, nervous, skin, and urinary systems interact to serve the needs of vertebrate organisms. Here's just a picture kind of illustrating what the body kind of looks like and what some of the students would be required to do for one of the activities. Resources that are needed for this lesson, computer related. You need to have, of course, computers, access to, in this particular case, an online learning management system where everything's going to be housed. As for paper-based, there's a worksheet, but it could be completed electronically or manually on a piece of paper, their textbook that they have for the course, rubrics, there's a game help document, instructions and rubrics for the presentation and the formative assessment, and some presentation resources. Human resources, we need a teacher or instructor and the students, and I think this would be best to be done in the classroom, not outside of the classroom. Computer applications the students would need access to. Google Docs if they're completing that worksheet online, another Google application for the presentation mode. They'll need to create a presentation that they'll share with their class about their mini game, so some sort of presentation application. And in our case, we have Google, so we'd use Google. Kind of how the activities work. Day one is going to be an opening activity where the instructor talks to the students about what systems of the body help you survive. And so just kind of getting students thinking about, if I was in the wood, what parts of my body would I need to be paying attention to? The instructor will demonstrate the game and kind of the layout and navigation, and students will begin exploring the game and completing the worksheets. Days 2 and 3, this may depend on how familiar your students are with the game or how quickly they pick it up. The students are going to play the actual game and complete the worksheets. They could do it individually or as a team. Day 4, the instructor would split them into 12 groups and trying to be a little heterogeneous about that. Each group is going to have a specific mini game, and the instructor will explain the presentation project and the formative assessment requirements. For this, students are going to create a presentation that is aligned to the learning objective for that mini game, and then also create a formative assessment. Days 5 and 6, the students will be working on that presentation together in their group. The instructor will check in with all the groups to ensure that they understand the expectations, make sure that they read the rubrics so they know what they're supposed to be doing. At the end of day 6, they're going to submit their project, the presentation, and the assessment questions to the instructor. The instructor will have to review those assessment questions and make sure that everything in the presentation and the assessments aligns to all the learning objectives. Because on days 7 through 10, and again, depending on how long it takes your students are going to look at other students' presentations about the mini games and all the different body functions and the systems. They're going to take notes on it, and then from all the different teams' formative assessments they created, the instructor will create one larger formative assessment that the students will have to take. If they don't pass it on the first time, they can go back, relearn stuff from the presentations, come back, take it a second time. If they fail it a second time, the instructor will actually pull those students aside on those days, because my guess is that they're completing it too quickly and not really diving into the information. So if they fail it 2 times, the instructor will pull them aside and teach them in a different way, or have them kind of sit next to them for that remediation. But in the end, the students should understand all the body functioning, body systems of all 12 mini games. Thanks for listening to my presentation, and have a great day.